Hello, my name is Sally Skelding. I've been in the field of early childhood for about 40 years. Last year I retired and started on a whole new career. My grandchild was born. She will be here in just a few moments, and before she arrives, I would like to chat with you. This DVD is to help grandparents and young parents get back to the basics of taking care of young children. It is my hope that as you watch this child go through the daily caregiving activities, plus some reading and playtime, that you will see that there's an opportunity to help your child grow and develop to the fullest. Oh, here she is. When Jillian arrives, I make sure I have on a happy face, as she always smiles at me. After we transfer her from her mommy's arms to mine, I check with her mother as to when the child ate, what time she got up, and if there are any special instructions for the day. It is absolutely mandatory that the child and mother or father say goodbye to each other. It is never okay ever to just slip out. The parent needs to tell the child goodbye and say, "I'll get back to you right after work." Then I repeat what the parent said after the parent has left. "Mommy will return for you when the workday is over." Once Jillian has arrived and is settled in, one of the first things we do is floor time. And it is exactly what the words mean, time on the floor. Floor time is essential for babies. It is while they are on the floor that they have a chance to flex their muscles. The baby feels safe as the ground is solid, and they can feel that with their whole body. Babies are programmed to move. You can't really stop them from moving unless you deny them access to freedom of movement and couple it with angry sounds so they become afraid. As the child moves, she stretches muscles, and this helps her prepare to crawl. Children develop muscles from the core outwards first and develop their large muscles before they begin to develop fine motor skills with their fingers. I wanted to speak to you a little bit about the pillow playpen. Very young children need to be on the floor because that's where they have a chance to flex and develop their muscles and to become strong enough to crawl and to walk. And as you notice, Jillian is pushing her hands against the floor, her toes against the floor, and she's really developing those muscles that will make it possible for her to be able to crawl very easily down the road. But right now, these pillows help contain her. Now, when she was very, very small, she was not able to get over the pillows. But right now, they slow her down. They also give her a challenge because she has to struggle to get up on top of the pillow. She has to problem solve how to get over the pillow or get around the pillow. So they are a marvelous way to make an environment that is safe for a child, and yet it is very easy for you to assemble and then put the pillows back on your furniture when the child is gone. As she is motivated to reach for a toy, she is motivated to scoot and crawl. This baby is long and lean and is really into moving. Some larger babies select to sit for long periods of time and observe rather than move. It is perfectly normal for a child to still crawl at 18 months of age. The sitter should still be provided with long daily opportunities to select to move. Scooting, crawling, pulling themselves up are all the first steps towards walking. As children move through these stages, they are developing the strength to stand and the balance skills necessary to stay upright. As children work on movement, they should be able to move about on the rug, and then the hardwood floor, and then linoleum, even grass. Cement patios and brick walkways are not appropriate for young children. All of this takes practice, and thus floor time is an essential part of this baby's daily routine. Be very creative with the pillow playpen. Sometimes I put the pillows around the dining room table, and I can sit at the table and work with Jillian at my feet. I'm aware of where she is, we're able to talk, and if she is motivated to get out of the playpen, I'm able to catch her very quickly and return her and attract her to stay in that space with another toy. Babies and young children love to look at themselves, and in the beginning, they are not aware it is them. It is seen as a friendly face responding to their smiles. I am sure the baby is amazed that her baby friend always wears what she wears every day. Not only is she there too at the same time every day, but she wears the same clothing. As the child grows, she will be amazed that her friend disappears as she stands and looks over the mirror. The mirror helps children get a sense of body image. The adult caregiver should point out eyes, nose, mouth, and legs, etc. Make a fun song or rhyme, or just say the words and point at the body part. For the baby, the child in the mirror is interactive. Babies and young children need interactive toys. Toys that do something when they do something. The best toy for a baby and a young child is an interactive adult, an interactive child, or even an interactive pet. Be very sure with pets that they are very child-friendly. I would like to talk to you a little bit about toys for a very young child. Often parents go out and they buy very expensive toys for these children. And sometimes they're buying toys that on the package look absolutely incredible, but really they're not a toy suitable for a very young child. A very young child needs toys that they can interact with. But I'd like to explain to you a few toys and explain why they are good toys for very young children. For instance, this ball is an incredible toy for young children, and it can grow with them because the child can grasp it, they can hold it, let go of it, they can chew on it, they can also watch it roll away, and then as they're learning to crawl and roll, go after it. And toys that will provoke or motivate a child to follow it are excellent toys because then it asks the child to use their muscles to go after the toy. And every time they do that, they exercise those muscles. This toy is incredible for young children because as they kick it or they hit it with their hands, it rolls. And as it rolls, it changes color and it makes a sound. There's a rattle inside, and the sound makes them listen, and then not only do they see the toy roll away, they hear the toy roll away, and again, they are motivated to follow that toy. The toy is also very soft on the edges, so that when children chew on them, and they will chew on it, it is a safe toy for them and they will not hurt themselves in any way. These two examples come from a large set of plastic blocks, and in each block there is a little either helicopter or a train or a car or a bird, and it moves. So as the child shakes it, rolls it, bumps it, something inside moves. As the child increases in their dexterity, there is, on this particular one, a place for them to put their finger and make the little train go round and round and round. This is also something the adult can hold and show the child as the train goes round and round. This toy is a great toy for young children, not because of its shape, which is a key shape, but because of what it does. And there are many toys out there like this, that the toy is safe, it's safe plastic, and when the child touches it, it makes a sound. It makes several different sounds. But what happens is the very young child rolls on this, and it makes a sound, and they're not quite sure what happened. As the child matures, they begin to understand that they are the force that makes that sound. So they will deliberately roll on it. As they get a little older, they will take their hands and push it in order to make that sound. And so these toys are incredible toys because not only do they involve touch, but they involve hearing. And they also provide an opportunity for children to chew on something that is a favorite toy. This is a basic rattle. When the child does something, it rattles, and it gives them something to suck on. Again, this toy does three things. The child can see it, the child can suck on it, so they're satisfying their oral needs, and the child can hear it. And these are incredible to use when you are changing diapers so that you can distract the child, so that you can get your job done. This is a very excellent toy for very young children, especially infants. These are pieces of fabric that are 12 by 12 inches and are hemmed around all four sides. You place these on the floor near the child, creating a peak. The child then, over a period of time, is motivated to roll to those, to crawl to those, and to knock them down. And when they knock them down, they grab them, they're able to fuss with them, chew on them, and in the process, there's a lot of texture experience going on. And it's important to have these made of different fabrics, also different colors and different designs, and use them when the child is very, very young. And you will notice as the child gets older, they will lose interest in them. But especially in those very early weeks when children are learning to crawl and also starting to roll, they are motivated by this little peak of fabric. In this DVD, you will notice the glaring absence of any media paraphernalia as a means to engage a child's interest. Pediatricians in America have made a statement about the use of TV and other media materials.
They are not in the best interest of young children. Babies and toddlers need the social contact provided by interactive adults and the challenges provided by real toys to develop appropriately. The American Academy of Pediatrics said in 2003, no TV or media games or gadgets for young children under the age of 2, period. Why? Well, research is proving that TV changes the way the baby's brain develops. Watching a screen flattens baby's brain waves, and that is not to the advantage of the baby. This advice is not given by one doctor. It is the advice given by the American Academy of Pediatrics. No TV or media games, period.
Every day I provide music time for Jillian. I make sure that there's an opportunity for her to hear music, a wide variety of music, orchestration and vocal. I make sure that the lyrics that she is listening to are appropriate for a very young child. Therefore, for the most part, I buy tapes that are designed for very young children. I use a tape recorder because it's very easy for me to move this from one space to another. I use it in the living room when she's playing on the floor. I use it by her crib when she's taking a nap. And sometimes we just take it outside so that we can feel the breeze and listen to the music. It is very important to provide young children with an opportunity to hear music. We know from research that music does a lot to help the brain waves get connected. So play music and play it at least once a day, if not more. Bedtime is a perfect place for children to listen to music. And also when you find them getting a little bit restless, music will provide that added enhancement to become involved with their toys again.
Child-friendly pets are great for young children. The adult must determine if the pet is a safe animal to have around a baby. Our family Basset Hound Billy has grasped that this baby is a member of his pack. He is a very gentle dog and has greeted her with gentle love since she was introduced to him when she was 2 days old. The child and dog aren't ever left alone, and when she crawls up and over him, he is praised for being such a good dog. If you have an animal that is not child-friendly, I would consider finding another home because the risk is so great. Babies love to bounce on your knees. Again, let the child lead the way. Sometimes I think my tummy is the best trampoline in the world for a 3-month-old, but not a 3-year-old. Some small children like to be bounced on an adult's knee. As you hold their arms, this helps strengthen their back muscles and work towards balance. Exercise for babies is to allow them to do what they normally will do if you provide space and time and companionship. The adult's role is to keep the child from harm at all times and to be sure the activity fits the child's developmental age. Increase the benefits of these experiences by describing out loud what you see happening. This aids in language acquisition. Adults should begin reading to a baby immediately. Share a little cardboard book that relates to a simple nursery tale. Read to the child daily and more than once a day. Reading to a child creates a reader. Reading to youngsters creates a learner who will be able to read more easily than one who has not been read to as a child. Reading time also creates a strong emotional tie between the reader and the child. And for the child, there develops a strong emotional tie to books, period. The world babies need to become acquainted with is the small world where they live. Take the baby outside and just sit and let the baby become familiar with outside. What can you do outside? Well, sniff the flowers, listen to the pond, touch the herbs, watch the birds at the feeders, observe the cat or dog wandering around investigating the backyard. As you and the baby look, describe what you are seeing. Also, identify the plane sounds overhead, the garbage truck on the street, the siren several blocks away. All of these seemingly simple references begin to make sense to a child as the brain develops and her world expands into the community. As soon as it is feasible, the child should be taken outside to play. The child should move from your lap to a safe play center and then to the deck and yard or park. And don't forget walks around the block. Babies usually like bath time. The water needs to be lukewarm, body temperature. The best way to test is the time-honored way of holding your wrist under the running water and judging the correct temperature by how it feels. Or just dip your elbow into the tub water to test the temperature. Once babies are 2 months old, leave the water running as you bathe the baby. Babies love to play with the water. Talk about the water and how it splashes when you interrupt the stream. Pat the water and encourage the baby to pat the water and splash. Bath time is a great sensory experience for children as they feel, taste, hear, and see what the water does in reaction to their touch. Bath time also provides an opportunity for the parent to identify body parts and help a child begin the process of self-identification. As you wash the baby, say, "Now I'm washing your arm," and then repeat that phrase with each part that you wash. This should be the conversation at every bath time. Identify parts, all the parts with the correct name. No child should ever feel ashamed of any part of their body. You may also talk about the bath toys and the sinking and floating and bobbing you observe as the child pats, slaps, and pulls at the various bath toys. Bath time should be a soothing, pleasant time for a child, and it is playtime too. Changing a baby is one of life's necessities. It should be done in a matter-of-fact and no-nonsense attitude. Yet it is a great time to communicate with the baby. Tell the baby what you are doing as you do it. Use a firm voice to bring the wiggling baby into compliance. Never use hard physical force. Distract the child with soft toys or a rattle, and later on an old set of metal keys on a firm chain are a wonderful way to keep the child's attention. According to Magna Gerber, you should identify smells with the baby. Let the baby hold the fresh diaper. Talk about how good it smells. Then let the baby smell the yucky diaper. Smell, not touch. And then identify the yucky smell. All of this feeds a child's sensory vocabulary about good and bad smells. And it also provides words for a child to identify the different smells when he or she begins to talk. These simple activities help the child buy into the necessary things that have to be done around the elimination issues called potty training. Small babies usually love to be rocked. The gentle motion and closeness to the body is soothing. As you see babies getting tired, rubbing their eyes, laying their head down on the floor, suggest this is a good time for a cuddle time. When children fall and cry is also a good cuddling time. There is no wrong time to cuddle. Rocking brings children and adults into close contact and begins a strong relationship of comfort and emotional connection. As you rock, sprinkle songs and poems in between quiet times. Rocking chair time is quiet time for both child and adult. Most babies let you know when it's nap time. They rub their eyes and cry a special tired cry. It is important to learn your baby's signals and to find a soothing transition into nap time. This baby will fall asleep in your arms and stay asleep when you put her in the crib. Some babies need you close by in the same room as they play and gurgle in the crib and eventually go to sleep. Some children respond to quiet music or a white noise such as a fan blowing. A good rule of thumb for those first months of care: when the baby sleeps, so does the adult caregiver. A crib needs to be a safe haven for babies. So if great-grandma passes down a family crib that was used by great-grandpa, check it carefully to be sure it meets current safety standards. Your local Red Cross is able to provide you with these requirements. And remember, cribs should not be used as playpens. Cribs are for sleeping and for those occasional safety times when the adult has to leave the child to go to the bathroom or respond to an emergency.
While the child is napping, I would like to talk to you about a few things. First off, if possible, while the child naps, you should also take a nap. This will keep you rested for the rest of the day. As you can see, not everything goes perfectly. What's important is that when things are difficult, is that you provide comfort for the child and to make sure that that child feels secure. Right now, parents are being bombarded with many products in order to fill up the child's day. There are two things that we know through research, and especially through Erickson. A child needs to be able to develop trust, and they need the opportunity to develop autonomy. This means the child needs to know that you are there for them when they are in a great deal of stress, and they also have to have many opportunities to move and interact with people and with objects in order to achieve that sense of, I can do it. As the child goes through the day, they are developing a strong sense of self-worth. This also comes to them by the knowledge that they are loved. So they need to hear you say the words, I love you, they need to be cuddled, and they need to know that you will keep them safe. And to also use those words as you are dealing with a child, and you have to stop them from doing something. I cannot let you do that. I love you, and it is not safe. Let's go in now and talk about some other things. I'd like to talk to you about car safety. It is no longer a choice as to whether or not you put a child in a car seat or not. You must put the child in a car seat. So, because an emergency can come up when you least expect it, it is important that the grandma has a car seat in her car and that she knows how to operate it. One of the most essential things is that how do you get this car seat out of the car? You need to know how to do that so you can have it in the house, get the child into the car seat in case there's an emergency, and get it into your car. If the car seat is too heavy, then you need to have it in the car and ready to go. And by ready to go, I mean that the straps on the car seat must be stretched out sufficiently so that they will go around the child that you're putting into the car seat. Children grow so fast that if you haven't used this for a couple of weeks, you may be surprised to find out that those little arms will not go into it and it is too tight. So it is important to continuously check the child against the straps that you have in your car seat to be sure that in case of an emergency, you're going to be able to put the child into it quickly and easily and be on your way to wherever it is that you need to go.
If your family has a pool, it is essential that you place safety above all other concerns. The pool should have a cover that is open only when there are adults present and closed at all other times. Pools need to be behind enclosed areas where a child may not easily reach them. For a child to feel safe in and about water and to like to swim, all their experiences with water must be positive. Do not trust older children with this responsibility. Tragedy is often the result. Babies and young children usually love the water. They love to hit the water and to move around in the water. Babies need to be held in the arms of an adult or pushed in safe water toys where a child is sitting securely. Babies and young children should have water wings on at all times. Enjoy the pool and let your child experience the wonders of water play, and hopefully as they grow up, they will continue to engage in the socialization of water time.
Whether you're going across town to visit your neighbor on a long trip, you need to have a well-stocked diaper bag. This is essential for the comfort of the baby and for your peace of mind. The first thing is to have something that you can lay down on a table or on a sofa in order to provide an area for you to change the diaper. Which brings us to the fact that you do need to have diapers. And you should have at least 3 or 4 diapers handy at all times. Along with the diapers, you need to have a packet of wipes because sometimes there's a little mess to clean up. You also want to be sure that you have food for the baby if the baby is hungry. So carrying extra formula, carrying some bottles with you is also very important. And perhaps even sticking in a bottle of water in case you may not have water easily accessible at the time that you need to feed the baby. If the baby is beyond formula, you want to be sure that you have baby food and a little spoon with you also. Because sometimes babies don't feel too well, especially if they're teething or if they have a cold. Having a small medical kit with a little syringe in order that you can give the child some ibuprofen if that is indicated by the doctor is always a handy thing to have. Be sure you carry a camera with you because you want to be able to catch those pictures that are so adorable right at the moment they happen. Because the child is coming to grandma's house, it's good to always have a little packet that has little ear cleaner outers, a little shampoo, and a little lotion if that's what the family chooses to use with the child. Also, never go anywhere without a change of clothing because if you don't have the change of clothing, definitely that outfit is going to get very messy and you're going to wish that you did. Carrying a blanket with you so that you can keep the child warm, and also a little toy in order to entertain the child while you were changing the diaper. And lastly, always bring with you a little rag in order to clean up and protect your own clothes as you go through the trip that you are planning to take, Whether it is next door, across town, or in an airplane to somewhere far away, always take a well-stocked diaper bag.
As Jillian and I prepare for her parent arrival, I change her so she is fresh and ready for the trip home. Once the parent has arrived, we greet her together with much hurrah, and I pass Jillian over from my arms to her mother's. As the parent prepares to depart, I fill her in on Jillian's day, letting her know any changes in the schedule, what Jillian ate, how long she napped, and lastly, I share a story about one of the day's activities, such as splashing in the bath or playing
Bye,
peekaboo.
Jillian.
As they leave, I wave and I say, "See you tomorrow, Jillian."
Thanks, Elizabeth. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It is very important to have everything ready when the mother comes to pick up the baby. So be sure the diaper bag is packed and the child is ready to go straight into her arms. Thank you very much for being with us. I hope you've had an opportunity to learn about alternative activities to use with very young children. There are many things to do with children rather than sitting them in front of a television or in front of a movie. The most important toy for a very young child is an interactive adult. Thank you.